Hi, my name is Mia. Welcome to Scrubs and Savings. I'm a 21-year-old new grad nurse documenting my personal and financial journey here on YouTube. And today we are going to be doing a June life reset where we take a look back at the month of May, reflect on my priorities and my goals and how the month went overall, check in on my 2025 goals, as well as look ahead to the month of June. So before we take a look at my Notion page for the month of May, I just really wanted to quickly say that May was not a good month. I, of course, enjoyed going on vacation, but transitioning from being a student for my entire life and then working part-time and being in control of my schedule while I've been studying for the NCLEX has been difficult for me because I am so out of a structured routine. I just do really well when I have a schedule that I really have to stick to and I'm responsible for more than just myself, because I'm studying for 4 to 5 days of the week and I'm not seeing my friends. I'm staying at home. I don't really have to do anything if I don't want to. The go with the flow type of life is definitely not for me, and I am definitely taking a mental note of that, but you will definitely see how being out of routine and kind of just being in a rut the whole month shows up in my accomplishment or lack thereof of my goals for the month of May. Looking at this month's priorities, I definitely did what I had to do this month, but I just wasn't perfect at achieving my goals, which is going to happen from time to time, and that's okay, which I'm going to constantly have to repeat to myself, but that's a personal thing I have to work on. So this month's priorities were to study for the NCLEX, which I have been doing for the past few weeks, and I will be taking it sometime in the month of June. And then my personal priorities were to enjoy rest and relaxation in the Smokies, which I definitely did. And then I also wanted to make sure that I'm taking study breaks while I'm studying, because not taking study breaks definitely does have a very major impact on my mental health and my performance when I'm studying. So I've definitely made sure to do that during my study days in the month of May. So I'm very happy that I was able to focus on my priorities, even though a lot of goals fell short. So my family and friends goals are always to spend quality time. I spent a lot of quality time with my family in the month of May. And then as for my friends, I went to a yoga class as well as to brunch with a few of my friends, which of course I love seeing them, and it's hard when I don't get to see them as often as I would like to, because we're all working, we're all studying, and we aren't forced to see each other 3 to 5 days a week in school anymore. And with the rest of these goals, you will see where I fell off the wagon. But my first health and fitness goals were with my weight training goals were to go 3 times every week and set a personal record in the hack squat. So I went, of the 3 full weeks that I was in at home, I think I went to the gym 8 times, so almost 9 times, which is about how much I wanted to go in the month of May. But there was 1 week where I only went once, and the funny thing is, when I'm feeling down, I don't want to go to the gym, but if I don't go to the gym, then I feel worse. So it's just, once I miss a couple of gym sessions, it's a cyclical cycle. Even once I stop going to the gym, I feel bad, and then when I feel bad, it just is not going to the gym is not good for my physical health or my mental health. And even when I would go to the gym to kind of make myself feel better, I wouldn't do as heavy of weights, which it's good to do when I'm coming back from vacation because I'm not going to be able to lift as heavy as I normally do, but I'm not really getting anything out of only lifting like 20 pounds on something that I can lift, I don't know, like 55 pounds on. Like, there's really no benefit other than I'm moving my joints a little bit. So I'm trying to get my butt back to the gym in the month of June, and we're off to a good start, even though I've only gone once, but it's the second day of the month, so got half of the days so far in the month of June. Then for yoga, I wanted to go to a class every week, which I did end up doing, which I'm very happy about, and I think I want to go more often, but I don't know about my consistency with that. Something else I've learned about myself this month is that having things that I want to do be 20 minutes away is not good for my consistency, because the yoga classes that I go to, or the yoga studio I go to, is 20 minutes away. So it's quite easy for me to cancel because I'm like, I don't want to drive because I don't like driving in the first place. So that's an extra barrier for me to go, and I just need to make doing the good things for myself easier and less far away, which is definitely something that I'll have to take into account when I'm moving out. And I did end up going to an outdoor yoga class, which was very nice. I definitely don't go outside enough, especially when it's so beautiful out, and doing yoga in the park was very peaceful, and I just felt so connected with nature and my community, and I want to go to another outdoor class soon. And I also wanted to try a new type of class on a certain date, but I didn't end up going to that, but that's okay. At least I went to yoga in the month of May. And then for my protein goals, they were to drink protein shakes twice every week and prep protein shake ingredients every Sunday. I don't think I drank a single protein shake in the month of May. So I don't think it's a realistic thing for me to drink protein shakes to get more protein in. It's just not something that I enjoy making, and it's not something that I enjoy consuming. So I just think I need to be more honest with myself about that, and that's okay. Then for mind and body, I have not been taking care of that in the month of May either. I wanted to get 8 hours of sleep every night, which I did most of the time, but it was not high quality sleep at all. And I wanted to be in bed by 10 p.m. on weeknights, and I have not been doing that. And I wanted to create a non-negotiable nightly routine that supports me going to bed early and getting 8 hours of sleep, and I did not do that. So, very unsuccessful with sleep, and I think SMART goals don't really work for me. I don't really like the restriction of like being in bed by a certain time or creating a nightly routine that supports. I don't think that works for me. I think I just need to get 8 hours of sleep every night, period. Like, I don't want to add extra things on my plate. I already know what works for me to go to sleep. I just have not been doing it. So, yeah, definitely did not do that. And then I have not been drinking enough water at all because I lost my favorite water bottle. And I forget how much of a difference not having a water bottle makes in my water consumption. So we really need to get back onto taking care of our bodies in the month of June. And then for my relationship, it was my boyfriend's birthday in the month of May, and we did get to celebrate his birthday, and For hobbies and fun, I did post on YouTube every week. I think I posted like 8 times, and I did end up finishing reading Slaughterhouse-Five, but Nick and I did not end up watching the movie in the month of May, but I'm hoping to do that in the month of June. So reflecting on the month of May, it simply was not a good month, and we'll just go through all of my reflection questions. So my big picture questions: how did I care for what matters most to me? I definitely made sure to enjoy time with my loved ones throughout the month of May, which is good, and I did end up staying consistent with yoga, but other than that, I didn't take care of my mental or physical health, which of course has a huge impact on how I'm feeling overall, which I'm kind of disappointed in. Were there moments where I felt proud of how I showed up for myself or others? Not really, which I feel so bad for saying, but that's just the truth of what happened in the month of May. And then were there moments where I struggled? And there were a few days in the month of May where I could not even study. I got less than 6 hours of sleep a couple of the nights in May, and I was just feeling down for like a week straight. Yeah, I just felt like I was in such a rut, and I'm trying to dig myself out of the hole that I created, which I don't like saying these negative things, but that's just what happened in the month of May. And I don't want to be like May was the best month ever when it really wasn't. And all I can do is just move forward. Then checking in on my goals and my plans. Did the intentions or goals I set feel aligned with who I am? And they definitely were. Like, I want to balance all of the things and achieve all of the goals that I set for myself in the month of May during most months. It just did not happen in the month of May. And then did I allow myself the freedom to adapt my plans as needed? And I definitely did. I was definitely very kind to myself when I was having these bad days where I definitely could not effectively study. But again, a lot of the things that were making me feel down during the month of May were preventable and were the consequences of my own actions. And as Olivia Rodrigo would say, it was me who was making the bed. And then checking in on my intentionality and presence. Did I make choices that are connected to my deeper values? And I really didn't, other than my relationships. And then was there anything that pulled me away from being intentional? And I do think I was on my phone a lot at the beginning of the month, which always pulls me away from being intentional and being present throughout the day. Then celebrating myself. What am I most proud of this month? Okay, I'm gonna say something positive, and I'm definitely feeling good about where I'm at with my studying. So I'm very proud of how hard I've been working to study and pass the NCLEX. And what else am I proud of? I'm proud of letting myself be and not forcing myself to achieve when I was feeling down, and I held space for those emotions. And again, I try not to be hard on myself, but it just sounds like it in this video because I also want to be honest about how my life is going to you guys. Then what challenges did I face? And I think a lot of the issue, I've tried to film this a couple of times already, so I don't remember if I said this, but just being out of a routine really messes me up. And so it's been hard trying to make a routine for myself every single day when there's nothing really holding me accountable. So that's definitely a challenge. and hopefully I'll feel better once I'm working full-time again. And I'm kind of forced to go to the gym on certain days because I'm working on the other days, and go to yoga. I don't really know how to explain it. I just don't do well without a structured schedule that's kind of inflicted on me, which is why I could never be self-employed. And then for gratitude and grounding, what am I grateful for this month? I'm grateful for the opportunity to travel, use my healthy mind and body to see the world. I'm grateful for spending time with my family and friends. I'm really grateful for my parents who have given me such a wonderful life. I'm grateful for my brother and his girlfriend, my partner, all of my friends. Yeah, I just have a lot to be grateful for even when I'm feeling down. And then how did I take care of myself? I took care of myself by allowing myself grace when I was feeling down, and I'm taking care of myself now by kind of picking myself up and forgiving myself, because there are just going to be times when I'm not feeling my best, especially when I'm out of a routine and I'm not with my loved ones as often, and it's just me. Like, I don't like being alone, to be honest. So not only giving myself grace, but loving myself enough to pick me up. Then, are there any areas where my expectations didn't match reality? And I think I've decided that I'm officially not a protein shake person. So we are going to have to figure out different ways to consume protein. And then, is there anything that no longer fit the person that I'm becoming? And I really don't think so. It's just kind of adjusting to how my life is going to look like now that I'm not going to be a student and while I'm working full-time as a nurse. So I guess it's just accepting that the way that my life was is over and that I have to adjust to what my life is going to be. And even though I'm struggling a little bit right now, I do still feel like I'm moving towards the person I want to be. Then, what feels most exciting or nourishing to prioritize in June? And I'm definitely super excited and nervous to take the NCLEX because it's just one of the biggest steps I'm going to take towards my future. And I'm also really excited. One of my friends and I are going to a local beach at the end of June, and we've been wanting to go on a beach day for so long, but we haven't done that yet, and I'm really excited to just bask in the sun for a little bit. And I definitely need to support myself by making sure that I'm getting enough sleep, drinking water, and moving my body. And lastly, reflecting on the month of May, what energy, mindset, or intention do I want to carry into June? And I definitely want to take care of myself and in my mental and physical health. So before we hop into my June planning, we can quickly be a little proud of ourselves and take a look at the progress that I've made towards my 2025 goals. So I have plenty of annual goal categories, but for self-growth, I've been doing well with getting 8 hours of sleep, and I have been planning every month, so we are on track with those. Then for my financial goals, I'm going to cheer myself on here, and I did max out my Roth IRA in the month of May, as well as reached $7,500 in my emergency fund. So my money goals are definitely where I'm seeing the most progress. And then for my career, I graduated nursing school in the month of May, and I actually already enrolled in my benefits, so I guess I can cross that off right now, which is super good. And I'm in the middle of studying for the NCLEX, so we're making good progress on my career. Then for my family and friends, I have not missed spending quality time with any of my relationships this year so far, which has been really good for my mental health and, the depth of my relationships. And for health and fitness, we are trying to hop onto that bandwagon, but overall in 2025, I have been weightlifting and I have been going to yoga, so May has kind of been a bit of a fluke in those categories. Then I haven't learned how to meal prep yet. That is a goal for later in the year. I'm pretty sure you can hear my dogs barking, but that's okay. I already created a night shift sleep routine when I was doing night shift during my preceptorship, and we will resume that once I become a nurse and work nights. And then for consuming more protein, that is one that I definitely have to keep an eye on because I have not been doing that. And then for my relationship, Nick and I have been going on a date every month. And for hobbies and fun, I've been quite consistent with posting on YouTube. I think I've done more than 4 times a month every month this year so far, and I definitely want to remain as consistent as I have been. So finally, for the month of June, my intention for the month is nourishment. I want to nourish each of my life categories this month, especially leaning heavy into health and fitness and mind and body, because that's where I was severely lacking in the month of May. And my priorities are basically the same as May, which is to study for the NCLEX and take study breaks. So my goals for June are very similar to my goals for the month of May. And for my family and friends, I want to, of course, spend time with them. And so I already spent quality time with my family. My brother and his girlfriend were in town for the same wedding that I went to, and we celebrated his birthday on Sunday, and that was really lovely. And I won't be seeing him for a while, which sucks, but that's the way things are. And I'm going up north with Nick's family and, of course, himself, which I'm very excited for. And then for spending quality time with friends, I only had this beach day scheduled for the month of June, but I'm in the middle of making a couple of other plans, so hopefully I get a little more socialization in the month. And then for health and fitness, I want to go to the gym 3 times every week. I want to go to a yoga class every week. And for protein, instead of making and drinking protein shakes, my brother got my parents and I onto the Built Puff protein bars, which are so delicious. They have about the same amount of protein as what I would drink in a protein shake anyway. Are they ridiculously expensive? Yes. So I'm going to enjoy the free and yummy protein bars while they last, and hopefully I can figure out some more ways to consume more protein that I'm actually going to do. Then for mind and body, I want to get 8 hours of sleep every night and drink 64 ounces of water every day. I am just my most optimal self when I get enough sleep and drink enough water and move my body, which is so revolutionary, but it's just the truth. So I'm on a 1-day streak of getting 8 hours of sleep, and I need to chug my water bottle once I'm done filming, but I am on track to hit these goals today, so I hope that getting myself back into the swing of things for a few days will really get me back into the swing of things, I guess. Even though whatever. Then for my relationship, I want to go on a date with my boyfriend, and we are going out on a date on Wednesday, so a couple of days from now, so we will be doing that. And then for hobbies and fun, I want to post on YouTube every week, which I will be doing. I want to watch Slaughterhouse-5 with my boyfriend, and I really want to do like a series about post-grad life, kind of a vlog series, but also a sit-down series where I can kind of talk about different areas of my life that I want to work on, trying to figure out who I am type of way. So I definitely want to start working on that at the end of June. I think that's it for this monthly reset. I'm sorry if this one was a bit of a downer because I didn't achieve everything that I wanted to achieve in the month of May, but I want to be open, honest, and transparent with you guys about what my life actually looks like. And not that like progress isn't linear, but like it's normal to not achieve all of your goals and feel down. And like I feel like I'm still able to achieve a lot even when I do have off weeks, off months, or I've even had a couple of off years, and that's completely fine. It doesn't make me any less of a person because I don't achieve my goals, and I never want there to be any morality of like whether or not I'm good or bad just because I didn't get enough sleep 1 month, you know? Anyways, thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I really hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.